welcome back to another episode of Advice for Buffoons. This is episode 2, unless I upload out of order, in which case it might be episode 3 or 4 or something. Alright, hold on, let me turn on the timer here. I'm going to try to go for 30 minutes today. If I go shorter than that, it's okay. It's not a big deal if I go shorter than that. Just before we start, I got some housekeeping notes to take care of. So to start, it's been amazing reception. Well, it's been okay. I had 3 unique commenters on the first video as of recording this. So that's great. That's 3 more than my first video got when I first uploaded it. So that's good. That's good news. They were mostly positive. One person commented saying that what she commented was about a question, but we'll address that later. So what has been going on in my life since the last episode? Not much, really. I did see something disturbing. It was a nature documentary, and there was a falcon, and it got a rabbit, and that was a little disturbing. Not for the falcon. For the falcon, I assume it was actually a really good day, because falcons they can only really eat meat. They can't really eat anything else. So for a falcon to eat a rabbit or a rat or a dog or a cat or an alien or something, that would be excellent. Another thing I saw was a interview with an alien, and this alien claimed to be from the future, and the alien in the future did something devious. It told us that there's no God, and it said God's fake, and that an alien shouldn't be saying that to humans. An alien should be probing us and eating us and stuff. It shouldn't be, telling us what to and what not to believe. You probably saw in the intro, I tortured an alien. I poured boiling water on it because it agitated me. This alien right here, and you can actually see if the camera focuses on it. It's got burns on its stomach from the boiling water. Next time, it'll be boiling oil. Another housekeeping detail, thank you to everyone who left a nice little thing to say about the show. I've had more than one person say they want to appear on the show, but as you can see, there's not exactly a lot of studio room. This is my bedroom. As mentioned before, and as anyone who knows me will know, that's a poster of Emerald Ray, that's a poster of the Earth, and that's a pillow. It's a pillow on my bed. So there's not exactly a lot of room for more than one person to show up and talk. It's not really it's not conducive. The environment's not conducive to cooperation, which is unfortunate because it's a lot easier to talk to people than talking to myself. The excellent thing about this format, though, is because it's myself, you get a uninterrupted stream of consciousness. So it's not I'm not performing for an individual, and I'm not being influenced by an individual's thoughts. So it's just me. So you can see how I think, because that's what everyone wants to know is how does my little buddy think? What does my little buddy think about? What are they thinking about? So that's good, I guess, or bad, if you find me annoying. But if you find me annoying, you would have clicked off a minute in instead of watching 4 minutes. So that's good. That's good news. There's not really any other housekeeping to take care of as far as the show goes. I went to the dentist, so you can see my teeth are clean. But I'm sure I didn't get any comments about how dirty my teeth were last episode. In fact, last episode I brushed my teeth before I did the show because I wanted my teeth to be clean. But this time I actually have advice written out, or, well, questions. So that's excellent. So when we get to that, instead of having a post from myself, which I wrote, and I needed to come clean about that, I said that last time, although I took it from another source. I didn't write it, but I wrote it for the purpose of the show. I wrote it, but I didn't write the original from a year ago. If somebody wants to tell that story, they can, and that person knows who they are who asked that question. But I'm unless this person makes themselves known for the advice going forward, it's going to be all anonymous. So if you can ask a question, DM it to me, text it, post in the comment section, but either way it'll be anonymous unless you indicate you want it to be public, because there's going to be sensitive questions like, how do I wipe my butt? How do I report a crime I did? How do I tell on my teacher? How do I tell on my classmate for stealing the jelly beans in class? These are things that people do that they need to be aware of, and they need to. You don't always want this to be public info. Sometimes you want it to be private, right? That's why you're writing into a show and not just asking me on the street, right? Because you want this to be private, presumptuably. So that's that. I feel like the format's clear by now. I think if you don't get what this is, I think you maybe missed something. I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know. It's hard to talk at a camera for so long. Podcasting is probably one of the hardest things you can do, especially alone, because what's a harder job than talking? There is no harder job. Working in the mines? You work in the mines. You know exactly where you have to dig. My head is not a mine. I don't have my boss saying, go to that idea. Go to that idea. I don't have the boss. I don't have a boss. I don't have a boss telling me what to say, how to say it. So for you at home, you have a job that's like, oh, I clean the chips I clean the chip bags at Superstore or Dollarama. That might be your job, and that's a hard job, I bet. But you know exactly how many chip bags you have to clean, and you know where the chip bags are. For me, I don't know where the chip bags in my head are. I know that the chippies in my room, I know they're over there if I want to get some chippies. If I want to eat a chippy on call, I know where to get them. On DVoice, I can know where to get the chippies. But for you don't. You know where the chip bags in Dollarama are. You go to the chip bags, you dust them off. Or your job might be something like toy breaker. You might work at the toy factory, and your job might be to break toys to see how dangerous kids can be when they get angry at their toys. That might be your job. Or your job might be like cat cleaner or dog chaser if you're like a cat or something. Your job might be like, you might be Spider-Man, in which case you know where the villains are, because the New York Police Department will say, Spider-Man, there's a vulture is killing babies at the women's hospital. Spider-Man, the babies are getting eaten at the children's hospital by the vulture. He's turned into a bird and he's eating babies at the hospital. And the rhino is here too, and he's trying to stomp on a bunch of gazelles that escaped from the zoo. And Spider-Man, the lion got out of the zoo, and that one's more dangerous than any of them, because that one, the lion eats babies too, and they all eat, and the rhino's eating babies, and also Mysterio is here making us think he's eating babies, but he's not. So it's confusing and scary. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell you think I'm talking about? So that's that. That's that for what's been going on in my life. For those unaware, I got an alien. That's the alien you saw me torturing in the intro with the boiling water. Because I poured boiling water on him, he's all sticky and he's dripping water. I don't know if that showed up on camera, but he's got a bunch of goop on me. and he's starting to melt, and so that's not good either. So what do you say we're 10 minutes in, so what do you say we hop into the advice? Because there's not a whole lot to go on to chat about right now. If I think of something else, I'll sort of interrupt and get back onto that. So the first question we have today is from an anonymous asker. I don't know. That's probably backwards. It's showing up backwards, I'm guessing. I don't know. I need advice. How do I put in a tampon? So this one, I'm guessing, is from a young person. If I had to assume, I don't know. I think that before I get into the answering this question, and I do have an answer for you, I think that maybe you should speak to a trusted adult or WikiHow or something, or someone with a vagina, right? Or your health teacher, or perhaps one of those like Saturday morning cartoons that talk about periods. So if you tried all that and it didn't work out, you're here already. So let's talk about it. But I'm really not the best person to be asking these kinds of questions to. But of course, I'll always accept a question from a user. I love answering questions. So how to put in a tampon? Well, first you need to go to the store and actually get one, or go to the hospital or the school bathroom or whatever, and you need to it's what is it? I think I have something around that can be. So, imagine like this is the tampon. You unwrap it. You unwrap it. Right? It's unwrapped. Here it is, and then you just pop it in, and then there you go. But I sense that you might need, I don't know, maybe I think some women need 2 or 3 tampons. I think if they have a big thing, obviously not just women have periods, but you'd think I don't know who's supposed to teach you. I guess I never thought about it. I guess it's me. I'm the one. I don't know. I don't have a vagina, so I never had to learn. I never needed to learn how to put in a tampon. But obviously, if your nose was your vagina, you now know how to do it. Yeah, that's how you do that. So let's go over. Step 1: go to the store, hospital, get a tampon. Step 2: open the box. Step 3: unwrap the thing. Step 4: and then you just put it in, and then it's done. And then it might be important to know how to take it out. I think there's like a lever or something, or like an eject button or a string or something along those lines. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure quite how they work. I don't know. I don't necessarily need to know. So thank you to the anonymous poster who asked that question. I assume you're like 12 or 13 or something. Or maybe you're an adult who just has been sort of making a mess everywhere. And so thank you for asking. It means a lot. If you ever have any more questions, maybe ask your mom first and then come to me. But that's fine. I don't mind. This one had 2 likes, and I hearted it so everyone could see it. So, but don't go look at who posted it, because then it's not anonymous anymore. So, respect that person's privacy, right? It's not, it's not necessarily in good faith to go around exposing people for asking questions, especially sensitive questions like how do I put in a tampon ? Question mark. And the 2 question marks and poor punctuation, not poor punctuation, but there's no capitals. It indicates high urgency. This person just. So I don't know, and I almost feel bad for waiting this long, because it could mean they had an emergency, or their vagina fell out or something, or they just got one and they don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't know if I really want to know. So that's advice number 1 for today's episode. But thankfully there's 2 pieces of advice. So here's the second advice question of the day. And once again, anonymous. I hearted it on the YouTube video, but don't go look, because that is again a violation of their privacy. I did heart it, so I don't know. I delete it, but I like having it there because it means that people paid attention to me. So this question is, and I'm just gonna say it how it's spelt. And my advice question is colon. How do I stop eating candies when I feel bad? Thank you for asking this question. I'm not sure if you meant, like, how do I stop eating candies when I feel bad, as in, like, when I feel bad I start eating candies, or, like, I eat so much candy I feel bad. So, I don't know if you mean, like, a tummy ache or, like, an emotional problem, or if, like, you eat so much candy that you feel emotionally sad. So how do I'll answer it both ways. First, I'll do the one where you eat candies because you feel shitty and emotionally bad. Find a hobby, I guess, or get rid of your candies. I read a book. I didn't read a book. I listened to a podcast called Atomic Habits, and it was stupid. So I'm not going to give you that advice. But here's my advice. So if you eat candies when you feel bad, 1, stop eating the candies. You know you have to stop eating the candies. Don't be lazy. Stop eating the candies. You can do one of 2 things now from this point on, where you realize you need to get rid of the candy. You can A, 1, throw out the candy into the garbage and stop buying candies, or 2, you can develop a device, and this device is like some kind of collar that shocks you. And so you'd sort of, I don't know, I guess you'd program it so when you eat a candy, you get an electric shock. And then instead of eating candies when you feel bad when you eat candies. Right? You need to restructure the system, I suppose. I don't know. I guess you could also talk to a doctor. If that's it. Because that could be an eating disorder. So if this is, an issue, talk to your doctor. That would be, I guess, advice number 3. And then, let's address the question from the perspective of, how do I stop eating so much candies that I feel bad? I think it's the same as before, honestly. I think it's the same advice holds. But for bonus advice, you could also eat something healthy when you feel bad, or eat a different kind of treat. So maybe instead of eating Gushers, you eat peanuts, or tomatoes, or squash cubed squash. That's certainly an option. I don't know if that's your jag necessarily. I don't know if that's your I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but yeah, so that does it for advice. I had a page here. You can tell I sort of blacked out their names because I didn't want to expose who they were, but that's this person's profile picture, that's this person's profile picture, but I did black out their names, so that's that for advice. I hope that was helpful. I didn't mean to be mean to that second person about the candies. I do hope you guys figure out A, how to put in a tampon, and B, I hope you figure out how to stop eating candies when you feel bad, because that's no good. Nobody likes feeling bad. So try to, both of you, try to stay, keep your chin up, slugger, because you don't want to be sitting around bleeding everywhere, eating candies, because that could even be the same person. It's not the same person, but it could be. And that person, they don't know how to put a tampon in, they don't know how to stop eating candies when they feel bad, and that's no good. And this is a candy too. And that's, that's no good. this person might not know. To me, this candy is delicious, but to that person, their candy makes them feel sad, so that's not good. Or, well, they feel sad and they eat the candy. And that person might be putting candies in there. We don't know. So, I think that does it for this episode. Once again, it's shorter than I expected, but that's okay. I'm a fast talker. And there's only one of me. So, I guess I'm going to try to upload weekly if I can. It'd be nice if I had a microphone or something. Or like a better place to record. So if anyone's got an empty house, if you let me borrow your house, you can be on the show. Because my house is full of people. My room's only so big. So that's not necessarily ideal. So that does it for this episode. Bye-bye.